Hello, and what is your name? Jihadi Jihad. Beautiful name, yes. What is your occupation? I'm an engineer. Oh, you'll contribute to the economy. Wonderful. And are you married? Yes, I have 4 wives. You know, I'm so embarrassed, but our country only has room for 1 name on this form. But I'm gonna give you a bunch of guest passes. And what is the name of your main wife? Jihada Jihad. Oh, is that a common last name where you're from? No, she's my sister. Oh, wonderful. You know, we're really trying to celebrate close family network systems here. We actually don't have enough mentally people here either, so you'd be doing us the solid, really. And what does she do for work? She makes belts. They just explode on the runway. The people go crazy for them, huh? No, they literally explode on the runway in the luggage under the plane. I heard nothing.
This is right-wing comedian Aaron Wexler.
Assalamu alaikum, New York City. Oh, how does this room feel about Mamdani? Yeah. Oh. The way he talks, I describe it as like, it's Islamabonics. Islamabonics is the way people talk when they want to live in the high-rise luxury buildings that they also want to fly planes into, you know?
She is painfully unfunny and very, very, very racist.
I don't think we talk enough in this country about positive racism. I think very positively about certain groups. I know what they're good at. Like, I want my barista to be a liberal freak. Like a freak of nature. I want my taxi driver to be Hindu. I want my lawyer to be Jewish. I want my sports team to be black. We want to win. I want my cleaners to be Hispanic. Mexican preferably, but I'm really not trying to be too picky. I would like my nail tech to be Asian. I would like my dry cleaner to also be Asian. I would like my dentist to also be Asian. And I want my boyfriend to be white.
But look, y'all, she is really doing her best out here, you know?
Had a liberal heckler in the audience. I never actually included the joke that set her off. All right, it's February. It's the Winter Olympics. We just lost the biathlon, which is ridiculous because it is the only sport with a gun. And I say, we at least should have medaled. I bet you we would have gotten gold if they put that course in an elementary school. That's not what set her off. We're getting there. And so then I say, have you noticed there are no black athletes in the Winter Olympics? It's not because they can't. It's because they don't want. Why would black athletes want to be in the cold when they could just dominate the Summer Olympics? Because black Americans are unbelievable athletes, right? And we know why. Because for many of them, their ancestors had to be chosen for work, right? And then they had to survive a horrible slave ship journey. And I don't know, but it seems like a pretty unfair competitive advantage to me. I'm saying black Americans are our best athletes, and slavery was bad. But I think people on the left get like leftist Tourette's, where they just have to be like, offended! I had to tell her, you know, being offended doesn't make you right. And she died doing what she loved. Stuffing ballot boxes in Los Angeles.
I mean, what else can we call this? Again, other than pure racism.
Is anyone, and I mean anyone, paying attention to the fact that New York City has a really important election in less than 1 month? Less than 1 month. Mayor of New York City is the second most important job in the United States. The first, of course, being President of the United States. And you know the only person who seems to care more about New York City than his own political career right now? The one man not running for mayor anymore, Eric Adams, because he dropped out to not split the vote so that hopefully votes don't go to Zoran Mamdani. You know, the Marxist with the most radical policies I've ever heard in a New York City race. So we need to recognize this all for a second, okay? Adams also worked with Trump really well last year, while Mamdani thinks the way to make New York City better is to cut the NYPD significantly. But you know who's still in the race? Per usual, Curtis Lewa. And that's where we are right now.
And that one, my friends, aged like effing milk.
You noticed we've actually mostly eradicated the non-binary epidemic? Almost. It was like polio. Except instead of vaccines, we got cheap GLP-1s. You can't be not fat and non-binary. That's just how it works. All these fat non-binary chicks just reverted to being straight white girls with no personality. We do still have trans people, though. I still see them because Ozempic cured obesity, not mental illness. So,
again, this is the Tony Hinchcliffe School of Comedy. It's also a perfect encapsulation of punching down and not uplifting others who need it, while also maintaining a stranglehold of white supremacy in this political hellscape.
Welcome to another day in my life as a conservative woman, this time visiting my hometown of New York City, the place where ovaries go to die. It is funny being back because while Florida is a giant blue state refugee camp, New York is an actual refugee camp. Now, since my last visit, everyone around me is still pale, unhappy, masked, and trans. Okay, not everyone is trans. Everyone's just kind of an androgynous self-proclaimed Marxist who live in their West Village apartments thanks to Daddy or George Soros. Speaking of which, it would not be a complete trip without being held up in traffic by a bunch of jihadi Janes and Hamas. So checked that off the list. And to ward off the liberal spirits, I brought the scariest thing a leftist could see, a pocket constitution. Next stop, I went to the police station because I figured since they aren't allowed to arrest criminals anymore, I'd see if they could at least put out a radio call to round up all men in the city of athletic build with no wedding bands ages 30 to 39. But they said no, so I left. I went to get a snack and so I looked for another snack, but oh no. And another and well, you get it. It does feel kind of silly to stand in line and pay because I've seen people take things and walk out and nothing happens to them. Still, I do find comfort in the city from our few conservative outposts where the liberals secretly come to eat God's chicken. Finally, whenever I'm back, people open up to me like I'm a priest in a confessional booth, which is all to say, New York, you are super weird, but there are more normies here than you'd think.
Now this is gross stuff. Are we surprised? No.
Here's a secret that everyone knows, but no one's allowed to talk about. Working for a female boss sucks, especially if you're a girl. Everyone always talks about the patriarchy keeping them down. Smash the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the only thing that has ever promoted me. Ask any girl when you're just having a casual conversation and she's not being a feminazi if she would rather work for a male or a female. And she will tell you. And why? Because women are jealous. Women are moody. Women are insecure. And for some reason, they take all of that out on the women working for them because women are mean to each other. We are our own worst enemies. And maybe, just maybe, it's because women aren't meant to spend their childbearing years in a corporate workplace. But we're not allowed to say that. You can't sit with us!
And not to be outdone,
we're at risk in Florida. If people are paying attention, we've had a bunch of races go the wrong way. Miami's mayor went to a Democrat. The district where Mar-a-Lago is also flipped to a Democrat just a few months ago. And so we cannot just rest on our laurels and assume that the state of Florida will always remain the amazing free state of Florida that it is.
You got to point out the facts. And we're talking about a long list of experience and several accomplishments with some guy who thinks he's Mike Rowe on YouTube. And it's just not, that's just not who Matt the Welder is. I appreciate his message on some stuff. And there are some instances where developers do exploit the state, but you got to have someone with the ability to push back against that. And, it's going to take more than YouTube videos to do it.
Newsmax promotes her, a far-right outlet, who basically said if it wasn't for Trump, they would have closed shop. I mean, this is just atrocious, but also a full circle moment. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.